It seems like the biggest story out of the rap world recently all have to do with 6ix9ine, and it's for a very simple reason. He's been snitching again. Yup, and this time, he's arguably done something a lot worse via that snitching. He called out a mainstream rapper, and no one is happy about it. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
Speaking of Cardi B, social media went crazy after news broke that 6ix9ine snitched on her.
Do you want to win any of these items on your screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right into the video.
The situation so far.
And a gang member who recently pled guilty to 9 felonies and is facing 47 years in prison.
So, where to begin? Yeah, that is the question, isn't it? Well, I guess we should start off with a quick rundown of the case, huh? Alright, so 6ix9ine has been in a lot of trouble with the law. A lot in his career. This is known, as we say in Dothraki, but everything came to head when he got arrested in November of 2018 by the FBI.
When you get to know him, he's actually a cool kid. And, you know, unfortunately, he got a serious situation on his hands.
The charges were numerous and were all made because he and his former mates that got arrested with him was a part of a group called the 9 Trey Bloods, which was a group that was not only infamous in New York, where 6ix9ine was, but also were a target of the FBI. To that end, many outside the system agreed that the FBI went after 6ix9ine and his former crewmates because of the fact that he might be more susceptible to the idea of a plea deal or snitching outright. That turned out to be the best call ever, because in February 2019, 6ix9ine officially signed a plea deal, one that had him pleading guilty to many crimes, minus a couple that would have guaranteed him life sentences, in exchange for a lesser sentence. In exchange, if not already obvious, he had to rat out all of the others who were arrested alongside him, and then testify to the inner workings of the 9 Trey Bloods and go on record in regards to how they worked, what they did, and etc.
To the defendant for the crimes set forth in counts 1 through 9, as well as additional crimes that the defendant has told the government about.
From February until the middle of September, that's honestly all that 6ix9ine did. He helped get convictions on the other members who were arrested that night. Many have even already been sentenced. But then in the 3rd week of September, he went and decided to call out a few other names when he was told to testify. And the big name that came out of his mouth was Cardi B. Cardi B.
They seemingly reacted to the alleged snitching with this Keke Palmer meme.
I hate to say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is.
So you might be wondering, how did Cardi B's name come up in a case against 6ix9ine? Well, I'll tell you, it wasn't something that people expected, like at all. 6ix9ine was called into court for 3 days to testify as to his position in the 9 Trey Blood system. And along the way, he was asked to talk about the current or past rappers who were either one of them or targeted by them. And when asked about current rappers, the attorney present noted Cardi B, which began the now infamous interaction. You knew Cardi B was a Blood? Attorney Alex Hewitt asked. Correct, Tekashi replied. You know Cardi B made music videos with Bloods in the background? Hewitt asked. Again, getting a yes from Tekashi. I think the word incendiary is appropriate here, don't you? Because not only did he just casually say that Cardi B was a member of a very infamous group, but that she's been a part of them for a long time, even having them in videos just like he did in his. Granted, both Cardi B and her legal team have been on point with this revelation, denying what he said and then some. She's referring to the fact that there are other groups out there that have the Bloods title in the name, and she is part of one of them in California, which is not the one that 6ix9ine is tied to. So in that way, it honestly is a big difference. Ironically enough, questions were almost always surrounding Cardi B in regards to whether she had any affiliation with groups like these, but she never answered them outright for one reason or another. But now, she's confirmed it, which is very curious. Whether this will affect Cardi B, her career, or her future is still up for grabs, but needless to say, when this got out on social media, it basically exploded the internet. But that begs another question. Why did 6ix9ine rat her out when she may or may not have been a part of the same group? The simplest answer may be the truth here, and that is the fact that it is a truth that he thought was real, but was slightly misinformed, which doesn't mean he lied, which would be bad as he could be charged with perjury, but that also means he didn't exactly tell the truth either. Cardi B is currently in the middle of her own court case, so this probably isn't something she wanted to have happen to her. Oh, and she also recently celebrated her 2-year anniversary with her husband Offset, which we've done many topics on here at King Trending because that relationship is anything but basic. So again, not the thing you want to have happen to you before that. Cardi B likely isn't in trouble with the FBI or anything like that, but it might raise some red flags for some, and Cardi can blame those red flags on 6ix9ine. Jim Jones.
Gosh, he songs my G. I wasn't a fan. We can't. We can't.
There was one other big name that got snitched out by 6ix9ine during the same testimony that outed Cardi B, and that would be Jim Jones. What's more, unlike Cardi B, there was evidence to back up his claim of Jim Jones being a part of the group in a certain capacity. The FBI had wiretaps of not just 6ix9ine's phone, but others as well, including the former manager of 6ix9ine, who had also been arrested in November 2018 during the FBI bust. Anyway, the wiretap showed that the manager, nicknamed Shoddy, and Jim Jones were having a conversation about 6ix9ine, ironically enough. enough. And in it, Jim Jones was noted as saying that they should super violate him, which was something 6ix9ine noted when he was brought to court before the plea deal, because he was afraid certain inmates were going to hurt him. Thus, he got moved to a safer wing of the prison. Focusing back on Jim Jones, this is not the first time his name has been brought up with the 6ix9ine case, but back then, it was more of him being an observer on the situation that was going on after it was revealed that he was going to be snitching to the FBI. Jim Jones had this to say on the matter during a radio interview: "We can't. 6ix9ine's history is erased. We're not even gonna say what we liked or what we don't like. He did some actions that he can't come back from, so his name, non-mentionable." The rapper was then asked if 6ix9ine could step foot in New York again. "I don't know what he could do. I don't give up what he could do. That's not my job. If he did step foot in there, they should stay far away from him. I grew up in an era where certain things you cannot come back from. You a rat forever. Ain't no coming back from that. So that's a subject that we don't even have to touch on." I'm sure that Jim Jones feels even more now that this is the case now that 6ix9ine has snitched on him in full in the courtroom. And if the wiretap is used as evidence, it could put Jim Jones in more trouble than he's already in. He recently lost his house to foreclosure. So there's no doubt that he's a very angry man, though his quotes from earlier this year do paint an interesting picture of the future of 6ix9ine. That is because 6ix9ine's future in the rap industry is something that is in a bit of flux because of his court case and new snitch moniker. Because before 6ix9ine was arrested, he was loud and proud about his tough guy image, and even went so far as to call himself the King of New York, and that made a lot of people upset before he got arrested. And now, because of what he did, that's not an image he can now maintain. And while he may have followers who still want to listen to his music, his supporters in the rap world aren't as numerous as they might have been before. Could he return to music? Absolutely. There's nothing preventing him per se from making music. But as Jim Jones noted, he now has a label on him, one that is important to note that everyone in the rap world is going to know. As you'll see later on, many rappers do feel this way and are honestly very perturbed at what 6ix9ine has done with this testimony. It was one thing to go after the crew that were likely already getting put away for life, but to go after people out of jail just to save his own skin, that's not cool with the majority of the rap community, though not everyone hates him. Tory Lanez. It may seem odd that anyone would stick up for 6ix9ine outside of his girlfriend, who for whatever reason is still clinging to him and showing affection for him whenever time allows, and his most diehard fans. But honestly, some rappers just don't care about the drama. They think about the music and just that. One such guy is Tory Lanez, who spoke on the 6ix9ine situation recently. "I don't know how he's gonna feel when he gets out of jail. I don't know what he's got. Personally, whatever it is music, bro. At the end of the day, however it happens for him, as a person, bro, and regardless of whatever he did, I kinda miss that guy. He's a funny guy. I really just don't care. I don't give up about how people view me. Don't like me already, I don't care." He said that, though he can't fully sympathize with 6ix9ine in his plight though, because he himself was never in that position and would never put him in that. But above all else, it's about the music, not the personal drama. That's a very interesting take on things, and one that many rappers likely wouldn't or couldn't believe in because of their own thoughts and loyalties. So if this is true and other rappers believe this in regards to 6ix9ine, there's still a chance that 6ix9ine could be brought back into the rap fold, even if it's in limited capacity. Snoop Dogg.
Snitching, working with the government.
There are a ton of OG rappers who have been very vocal about what is going on with 6ix9ine and how they are feeling about it. Even Snoop Dogg is getting involved in this, and this typically isn't something he would be up for doing. And that's mainly because when it comes to Snoop Dogg, he's very chill. He gets annoyed, but rarely angry, and he lashes out when he feels personally offended by someone. Such as when 6ix9ine broke the code of the streets, showing everyone his true colors in the process. The double OG has never been afraid to note the lack of style that 6ix9ine has had in his music, life, looks, and more. But for Snoop, the biggest thing was that not only did he snitch, but he also snitched on his crew to the government, whom Snoop Dogg doesn't trust that much. That was truly the last straw for Snoop. He went and noted during a message about a lawyer for 6ix9ine that they should let the rat rot, and he went on to note, "This bustes, man. The era I come from, you couldn't tell on it. Snitching, working with the federal government, after the government shut down, decides to work with the federal government? I swear to God, this new gangbanging is robotic to me." So yeah, Snoop Dogg ain't happy, and if 6ix9ine gets out, he's gonna know that Snoop Dogg is rooting against him in regards to getting back into rap, and clearly he won't be alone in that thought process. And don't forget, Snoop Dogg isn't just an OG rapper, he's one who has a lot of influence in the rap world from his contacts and connections. Should he want to, he could really make 6ix9ine suffer musically when/if he gets out. After the recent incident with his testimony, Snoop went to Instagram and made sure he made it clear to all who followed him what 6ix9ine was in his eyes by posting a snitch pic featuring the young rapper. So yeah, 6ix9ine lost a big potential supporter with Snoop, though another OG apparently still has his back, 50 Cent.
Hip-hop allows you to be on a safari and get close enough to the animals without being in danger.
50 Cent is a legend in the rap community, and he's definitely a guy who believes in the power of the streets, yet you might be surprised what he thinks of 6ix9ine right now. After it came out that 6ix9ine snitched on his crew back in February and his own group, he made a post on Instagram that has since been deleted but was screenshot by others, so we know it does exist, and he made the following joke: "Tekashi, I ain't no snitch. Judge, you're looking at 47 years hard time. Tekashi, you guys ever notice 21 Savage looks British? This joke was made not only at the expense of 6ix9ine, but fellow rapper 21 Savage, who I will get to in regards to his own legal problems. So the joke here is that 6ix9ine is willing to sell anyone out in order to get his own sentence reduced, which is ironic because that meme is even more relatable now due to the fact that he's named Cardi B among the people who are in the 9 Trey Bloods crew. Another irony of the situation is that 50 Cent not only rolled back the post by deleting it, but also noted that he will still play 6ix9ine's music in his ride and that he is the king of New York. What's more, after the recent snitching by 6ix9ine, 50 Cent was called out by an eternal rival, Ja, because of his association with 6ix9ine, and he wasn't alone in doing so. So while he may be sticking up for a friend of sorts, 50 Cent might get further under attack if he continues to associate with 6ix9ine, especially after his potential release. 21 Savage.
If you a rat, I don't respect you. Straight up. On no tight level.
One of the ironies when it comes to 6ix9ine's situation in regards to 21 Savage is that when 6ix9ine was forcing down the FBI, Savage was facing down ICE. However, one was facing federal charges and the other was being detained because of illegal immigration. Kind of a different thing. In fact, upon hearing that Tekashi was a rat, he went to Instagram to post his dislike for the situation and noted that he has lost all respect for 6ix9ine because of his rat ways. You a rodent, I don't respect you in no type of way. I don't care how much money you got, how many cars you got, how many chains y'all got, he specifies. You a rat. R-A-T. The only twist here is that 21 Savage does not want harm to come to 6ix9ine, as he doesn't believe in that, though he obviously doesn't have control over that. But rather, he wants the shame of 6ix9ine to be in the form of him knowing that he is a rat, and everyone will view him in that way from now on. This is also somewhat poetic, because while 6ix9ine has most of the rap community fighting to keep him behind bars, or have worse things happen to him, when 21 Savage was in trouble, the community rallied around him, and through their efforts he was released from ICE, and got to stay in the US. He's out there making music right now, while 6ix9ine is running his mouth and spilling all kinds of beans in order to try and get out and make music again. This is an important thing to note because the rap community will likely have a big say in what happens to 6ix9ine next, and now he's got OGs and new blood saying that they don't want anything to do with him. Meek Mill.
Doing stupid at this point. I know you might have got on from doing it and it worked out to be able to make some money, but I think you need to slow down.
Meek Mill is another rapper who knows a thing or two about fighting the legal system, but while he had his own issues, it's nothing compared to what 6ix9ine has done, though they were both arrested for possessing an illegal piece in different qualities and quantities. Anyway, when a loyalist to 6ix9ine, DJ Academics, went to Instagram to post about a new collaboration between him and 6ix9ine made before he went to jail, was going to be released soon, Meek Mill dropped in to shut that all down. He telling, show's over buddy, stop posting bull, you disrespecting us. Nice shot, but let me tell you, there's even more coming from him, because after posting this, 6ix9ine's current girlfriend Jade popped in to call Meek Mill out and said he was a hater for his talk on Tekashi. I bet you can guess how he reacted. I'm a hater because he's about to tell after running around starting with people and starting drama? LOL. The streets don't want to hear it no more. It's a fact. I'm not just saying it. He, like many, reaffirms that 6ix9ine got himself into this mess, and he's now trying to save himself by throwing everyone else under the bus. And that's something the streets don't tolerate at all. What's more, Meek Mill went on to Twitter to note that this isn't something that should be a surprise to people. Rather, it should be something that we should all be saying, I knew this would happen about. Because that's exactly how Meek Mill feels about it all. That's a shame. When I come home, everybody was like, he got some real dudes backing him. I was like, how? Y'all better stop running behind rappers acting like y'all ready to throw y'all lives away over some stupid. He's not wrong in that prediction that he stated he made. 6ix9ine's run-ins with the laws are literally quite infamous. He's gotten away with matters that seem ironclad, foolproof at times even. Here though, not so much. He had to do a plea deal to free himself, and even that isn't a guaranteed thing. So in the end, the fate of 6ix9ine may not just be in the hands of a judge, but also the people who he might try and return to. And there you have it, a look at 6ix9ine, his current situation, and what the rap world is thinking about him and his snitching. Do you think the future for 6ix9ine rap-wise is bleak, or do you think he'll pull something out of his hat? He's done it before. Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the channel.
A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.